It is the 41st millennium. Mankind battles for survival across the universe, besieged on all fronts by the heretic, the mutant, and the alien. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. One faction of Space Marines stands amidst the chaos, the mightiest of the Emperor's warriors, and a beacon of light in the darkness. This legion, the 9th Legion of Adeptus Astartes, the Blood Angels.
Alright, hello, we are here after technical issue after technical issue. Sorry if some people went into a different stream. I have to remember to do something literally before every single stream goes live. And apparently I was rushed because my kids wouldn't go to sleep. So I didn't do it, and I basically borked the stream that I'd set up this afternoon. I couldn't figure out how to go live. I've done that before. But thank you for being here. Thank you for moving over. Hello, good evening. Welcome to our Sunday night army list show. We do this every Sunday. We take community submitted lists. We look at them. Basically, I guess, for most of 2025, we looked at Liberator Assault Group. That was the go-to Blood Angels army list. Occasionally, we would look at Angelic Inheritors lists. And super occasionally we might see Lost Brethren or something like that. It seems like this year we're going to be looking at Rage Cursed Onslaught. Before I go any further, please somebody in chat confirm you can hear me. Like I said, I was having a lot of technical issues. So if you can hear me loud and clear, I'd appreciate someone saying that. And then I will say hello to everybody. Thank you. Well, I'm going to wait till someone says that they hear me, but thank you so much for the super chat. Loud and clear. All right, bro. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's so stupid. If I don't, every time I set up a stream, I have to manually link it to the account, and if I don't manually link it, then I guess I can't, then it fucks up. My fault. Anyway, good evening. Happy Sunday. It's a good day. I did a new banner for this year. So we have a new banner for the Army List show. So this is a banner you're going to be looking out for. Probably just going to use this banner at least for a while. Alright, let's start with the first list of this new year. And I think it's going to be a lot of Rage Cursed lists, because that's what people are most excited about. So I think, at least this show, I think, is entirely Rage Cursed lists. Where can we send orbital lists? I mean, you can send me any list you want. You just put, the list, if you want your list on the show, put it in the comment section of this video. And the same goes for every show, right? So if you watch any army list show at any point, if you put your list in the comment section, then we'll get you on the show. Might not be the following week, because I'm only one person. I can only do about 6 lists a week. But, yeah, you know, if you put it in the comments, you will get on the show eventually. Only submit an orbital list if you want laughed at. I mean, it's fine to submit orbital lists. I'd like to see if someone comes up with something strong. And I had one other thing to say. Oh yeah, if you do enjoy the stream at any point, please do hit the like button. And if you're new to Blood Angels or Space Marines in general, and you want to get more tips and tricks, then please do consider subscribing. I'm gonna be here this entire year. I'm going to be doing 11th edition content. I'm excited about that. So let's dive into... And you know what? I've got my first tournament playing Rage Cursed Onslaught next weekend. I just found out today I'm playing Drukhari in match 1. So, that'll be an interesting one. I can't think that I've played Drukhari in like 6 months. It's not an opponent I usually have on the channel. So, I need to do some brushing up on knowledge on Drukhari this week for me personally. Anyway, Rage Cursed lists. We've got Lamartes, we've got Mephiston, we've got the Blade Guard Ancient with a small squad of Blade Guard. I guess that gives them somewhat decent OC. We have Blood Angels Captain with a Power Fist and Infernal Pistol, Sustain 2 with 5 Stern Guard and an Impulsor. I think this is a really strong combo, right? Like I covered this on the tactics video that just went out on Friday. I think this is an insanely strong combo. The Stern Guard will always do some mortal wounds, even more so if you fight infantry. A Power Fist with potential AP 3 and Sustain 2 and like 10 attacks and devastating wounds with rerolls to wound. Yeah, I think it's a really good combo. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't run more than one of the combo is because you can only give limb for limb to one unit. But or one unit a turn. But I think the Captain with the Rage Cursed, if they can take your Oath of Moment and they can take your limb for limb, I think it's a really strong. It's really strong. We've got the Captain with the Jump Pack with small unit of Sangry Guard with spears. We've got a Chaplain with a Jump Pack. We have a Lieutenant with a Combi Weapon. I don't know if I feel like you need the Lieutenant with the Combi Weapon and Mephiston. I think I would probably just rather a unit of Scouts. But I mean, I guess that's what you prefer, I guess. We've got 2 units of Sangry Priests plus Assault Intercessor squads. I'm not sold on the Sangry Priests with Assault Intercessors. I covered this week on the channel. They probably don't have enough strength to be super meaningful. In a 5-man squad, I mean, I think it's fine. I just don't think it's overly competitive. You've got 2 units of Jumping Intercessors, which are obviously good. You've got the unit of Sangry Guard with blades, which seems like they'd be there to do actions. And then you've got unit of Scouts as well. A lot of action stuff to do in this list. I already played this list. There's a bit of navigating to do with the Impulsor to get the most out of the Assault Intercessor Sangry Priest units. But those small units require a real unit to get rid of them. They basically out-OC other units near them for their points cost. I guess the Assault Intercessors plus the Sangry Priest are 11 OC. That's not the end of the world. I didn't find the apparent lack of shooting to be an issue. I had so many units in round 3 or 4 that I could trade inefficiently and still deny primary, winning both of my games with over 30-point differential. Okay, how many units has he got? Stinkzoid, thank you so much for becoming a member. If you are a new member to the channel, you can get access to our members-only Discord, exclamation Discord in chat to get in there. Who else is here that we haven't said hello to? Flowbrain, RFB Hadley, good evening. Zakoon, Quaydog, Boris, Jack, Road Rage, Bearded Coyote's here. Salute Bearded Coyote, thanks for the super chat last night. Angels of Death is here. CFT 3D is here. The Drukhari can charge me if I move within 9 inches. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'll need to have a look at their detachment, honestly. Because it's been ages since I played Drukhari. I don't even know what... Yeah, I need to look up... I need to spend half an hour looking at the Drukhari before I play them. Okay, so we've got... How many units here then? Lamartus plus the Death Company, the small unit of Blade Guard, the Captain with the Impulsor, so that's kind of 4. The Captain with the Sangry Priest, that's kind of 5. The 2 units of Assault Intercessors, and then another 2 is 9, and then Scouts and the Sangry Guard. So there's about 12 units. I assume the Chaplain with the Jump Pack attaches to one of the units with Assault Intercessors. Yeah, I mean, I think, I was going to say, my Rage Cursed list, I normally feel like it trades okay, but I played Necrons this week, and I really struggled to trade against the Necrons. Like, Necrons are so durable. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So I have 13 units in my Rage Cursed list at the moment. So I guess if you're in the region of 12 or 13, that's probably decent. Jump Pack Intercessor is very good in Rage Cursed, as is like the big unit of the big unit of Death Company. The Impulsor is very useful, I feel like, in this detachment. And then you've got 2 units of Sangry Priest Assault Intercessors to do some objectives. You've got no sticky objectives in this list, but you do have a unit of Scouts. And And then you've got the combi weapon and Mephiston. Yeah, I don't know if I feel like I need both of those tools. I think it's like the Sanguinar, right? Like I think if I'm playing Blood Angels personally, I'm fine with one lone operative. Some people take two. I don't think I need two. I mean, I think if you've got jump intercessors, you've got some small units of Sangre Guard, right? Like you don't mind doing an action on a small unit of Sangre Guard. I mean, in my list, I've got like Outriders that can do that. The Impulsor can do actions. Your small unit of Blade Guard could definitely do an action. So it's like, I don't know if I feel like you definitely need two lone ops and a unit of scouts. And also, yeah, I'm just assault intercessors. What is it? It's their base 4 attacks. By the way, 39k Pro is working again. I was talking about this the other day. 39k Pro. So 39k Pro, Space Marines, assault intercessors. This website works really well on your phone as well, by the way. So they get 20 attacks with the chainswords and then potentially 4 attacks with Thunderhammer, re-rolling ones to wound all the time. I mean, I think they're fine. I don't think... You know, you're paying 75 points for that priest, which is the same cost as 5 more guys. Like, does the priest bring enough value as the same as 5 more guys? I feel like he doesn't. But people love the Sangre priests. I mean, if this was, what do I feel stronger? 20 assault intercessors or 10 plus 2 Sangre priests? Bearing in mind, you can give +1 AP in this detachment as a stratagem, right? Like, you can use your stratagem on them. Like, I feel like I would be much more likely to pay my stratagem on 10 assault intercessors than I am on 5. I mean, the argument to take the priest is that then you wouldn't need to use the stratagem on them, so you could put it elsewhere. The priest should go down to 60 points. He probably should. I mean, like, the apothecary who brings a guy back to life is like, he's one of the cheapest characters you can take, right? Apothecary. 50 points for an apothecary. Yeah, I mean, he might actually be the cheapest character because lieutenants and tech marines are 55. Oh, the Blade Guard Ancient. He's the only thing that's going to be cheaper than an apothecary. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, the priest is kind of expensive. I feel like if this was me, I would just run 20 jump intercessors. 20 assault intercessors. Or a 10 plus a priest and a 5, because that's the same points cost as well, right? Like if you took away 1 priest and you did a 5 plus a 10, that's probably what I'd run. That's probably the simplest change I would make to this list. Because I think 10 with a priest might be pretty cool. I don't think it's as strong as it is in Liberator or Assault Group because you don't get a +2 strength. But I think it could be pretty cool for chewing through some stuff. So, that's a simple change I would probably make. I probably also... Personally, I don't know if I feel like Lamartus plus 10 Death Company... Like, I think we've been seeing people run the 10 Death Company in this detachment, and people have had success with it. People have even been running 2 blocks of Death Company and having success with it. Like 2 blocks of 10 Death Company. 460 points in Death Company, and then attaching like 2 characters. I guess that's fine. It just feels like a lot of eggs in one basket to me. And I guess by doing that, you limit yourself on like how many Sangre Guard you could take. And I think this list only has 6 Sangre Guard. I guess I'm okay with only having 6. I'd prefer to have a few more, but I guess if that's where where the line has to be drawn, and you only have 6 because you want 10 Death Company, so be it. I think I also miss the fact you've got no sticky objectives. Innes has 25 Death Company in his latest list. Yeah, I mean the Death Company are very, very good in this detachment, man. The only thing that they're not good with, right, is that only 1 unit per turn can get the +1 strength, +1 AP. But even the 5-man Death Company, plus 1 strength, plus 1 AP, usually they're attached to chaplains, so you get plus 1 to wound as well. You reroll all your you reroll all your hits, you reroll wounds of 1. It's very, very good. Matthew says, evening brothers, I'm watching the playoffs and listening to Commander. Peak Sunday entertainment. Dude, I watched the Chicago Bears yesterday, and I thought they were dead and buried. And then they got like 25 points in the fourth quarter. Like, what the hell? Some good touchdowns there as well. Good evening, Matthew. Or Mark Matthews. Good evening. All right, we're looking at Capperjack's list next. All right, 2,000 point Rage Cursed Onslaught list. Lamartez, who's going to be attached to 10 Death Company. The Chaplain with the jump pack attached with Angel's Fang, which is the enhancement to get +2, or sustain 2, excuse me. He's got a Thunder Hammer and he's with the 3 Sangray Guard. We have a Chaplain with Master of the Red Thirst, that's Fight First with the Blade Guard. We have 2 Chaplains with jump packs, each attached to 5 Death Company. Cool, so we get 20 Death Company in this detachment, or this list. We've got the Combi Weapon Lieutenant, we've got the Sticky Objectives, we've got those Blade Guard we talked about, who I imagine will be roaming around in an Impulsor. Then we have the 20 Death Company Marines, then we have 3 Sangray Guard, plus the Spears, plus the Banners. We've got the Scouts, we've got the Outriders. I like Outriders in this detachment, I'm playing them personally. I mean, you're not going to have limb for them very often, but when it happens, it's pretty cool. We've got 2 Ball Predators in there, Stormbolters, Heavy Flamers. I think you've messed up here. They do not have 2 times 2 Heavy Flamer. They have 2 Heavy Flamers, period. So this is just extra, and then the Flamestorm Cannon. You've got a Lancer in there for a little bit of anti-tank. I like it. I think it's important to have something that's ranged that's anti-tank. And then we talked about the Impulsor already. Man had a Captain with a sustain 2 and didn't roll a single 6 if he's a monster vehicle character the whole game. That's why I've dropped that enhancement, Boris. I would rather have more units that are reliable than enhancements that don't ever do anything, right? Like, because not the Rage Cursed. What was the sustain 3 enhancement called again in Liberator Assault Group? I forget. I haven't played Liberator Assault Group in like a year, but you know the one that once per game you get sustain 3. I've had it where I rolled every single dice as a 6. I did that live on stream, believe it or not. The very first time I used it, every single dice from that character was a 6, and he one-shot the unit. Ragefield Warrior, that was it, thank you. He one-shot the unit. The entire, like, the Death Company that were with him, they didn't even fight. The character did like 20 Power Fist attacks by himself. The very next game, 0 6s. So I don't like enhancements that are like, they pop off or they don't pop off. So I personally have just left them. I understand they can be good. I guess if you've got 25 points left at the end of your list, sustain 2 on one of your characters, it's always going to be fighting. Monsters, vehicles, characters is good, can be useful. I mean, you play it enough times, you're going to get value out of it, right? But like, I personally have kind of moved away from them. I do feel Warhammer is more a skill-based game than like a random number generator game. I mean, it helps to know what the numbers are, but like, I do think it's more of a skill-based game. Okay, so I kind of like this list. You have 2 Ball Predators that are going to roll out, maybe on side field objectives. You can sticky them if they die. You've got a Gladiator Lancer, bring that fire support. You've got an Impulsor with a Fight First Blade Guard moving, I guess, centrally. You've got 20 Death Company, a 10 and 2 5s. You could definitely have some of them in reserve, so you're rapid ingressing. You've got Sangray Guard with a Captain. You could definitely be rapid ingressing that as well. So you've got 4 units, the 3 Death Company and the Sangray Guard. I'd probably pick 2 of them and rapid ingress them. You've got Scouts for scoring. You've got Outriders for some early game pressure to do actions or go with your Ball Predators. Yeah, I think this is a cool list. I'm trying to think if there's too much to change. Cartel Tank, thank you so much for becoming a battle brother. I do appreciate it. ! Discord. You can get over into our members only Discord. Yeah, do Terminators count as anti-tank? when I say anti-tank, I usually mean ranged anti-tank, right? Like Death Company are anti-tank, essentially. Sangre Guard with spears are going to be anti-tank. Terminators are going to be anti-tank. I guess when I say anti-tank, I usually mean, like, I think that's all my lists, and I could be wrong here. The way I play Blood Angels, the way I've played Blood Angels since 2nd edition, because back in 2nd edition there was no Sangre Guard, you were only allowed one squad of Death Company. Blood Angels were very much, in 2nd edition, they were very much a shooting force. Right? You had lots of tactical squads, you have Devastator squads. So I always played Blood Angels as weaken shit with your shooting attacks, and then charge it and finish it off. And that's how I've always played Blood Angels. Some people say, screw the ranged firepower, I'm just going to charge and do melee. I think that's a harder way to play the game for Blood Angels, but it can be very successful, right? But I would say it's slightly harder, slightly more nuanced. You know, like, I've played against a Tau player that covered half the board with, like, ghost suits and Kroot. So it's like, there's no way for me to get to his devil fishes or, I forget what they're called, the Riptide battle suits. Like, all those battle suits are screened by, like, 50 Kroot. So if you're an all melee Blood Angels list, how are you beating that, right? Like, you jump on, you kill them, and then they just shoot you off the table, right? Like, I prefer, personally, and I could be wrong here, but my general appeal is, like, I like to have some ranged firepower. Because we're still Space Marines. Space Marines are one of the best shooting armies in the game. We still have access to all that stuff. And this edition, we've had some very competitive shooting platforms, right? Vindicator tanks, horrifically competitive. Ballistas Dreadnoughts, I think at one point they were 130 points. They were really competitive. Predator tanks, with their flat damage 3, really competitive. Much better against Victrix Guard now as well. How many points is a Predator autocannon these days? The Predator Destructor? It's probably gone up. Yeah, it went up as well. When I played it, it was at 130. Very, very good, considering it gets 6 shots at 24 inches, and it's AP 2 against infantry, because it gets +1 AP against infantry. So we have had some very competitive things that can shoot this edition. So, and you could argue Gladiator Lancers as well. One of the, a lot of reliability in Lancers. There's definitely a lot of Blood Angels players that have played double Lancer. Like, all melee, but you have 2 Lancers sitting at the back, just dealing with enemy vehicles, monsters, big tanks, right? That's totally viable as well. Yeah, so I think this is a good list. It doesn't have as much shooting as I would normally take, but I can understand what you're trying to do. In Rage Cursed Warrior, you're just wanting to limb for limb basically every turn you want to limb for limb something. You've got 5 units here that could benefit from limb to limb, the 3 units of Death Company, the Blade Guard and the Sangre Guard. They all can get massive bonuses from limb. So you're going to try and do limb for limb every turn. My experience of playing this detachment tells me that every turn you're going to play limb for limb. So half your CP you're going to go on limb for limb. You're always going to need CP for it. And then you're going to, you're going to do chargey things, action things, flamer things, Overwatch things with the Ball Predators, sticky objectives if you can. I think it's decent, right? Okay, let's move on. Next list. Dan Morin, 1455. Played Rage Cursed Onslaught last night against Chaos Space Marines. I lost, unfortunately, because of a lucky Forge Fiend sniping my Predator. God, dude, I was at a GT and the Forge Fiend sniped my Land Raider, man. Fucking flat 3 damage, AP 3 Forge Fiends. Ugh, I hate them. Beside that, I really liked it, thinking it was definitely has legs, and have already made 3 lists. Yeah, I think the Khorne Forge Fiends get stupid amount of shots as well. It's like 3d3 plus blast plus rapid fire. God, and then reroll everything. I think reroll hits or something. I don't know. Forge Fiends for World Eaters are just maybe they nerfed them a little bit. Did they nerf them, or are they still ridiculous? I think they put them up in points. Maybe were they 170? What is it they get? They get 3 Ectofire Plasmas, 10, 3, 3, Rapid Fire 1, Blast. Each time this model... that's it. If you make an attack within 18 inches, you reroll hits. So if you shoot a 5-man unit within 18 inches, you get D3 plus 2 times 3. So there's a minimum of 9 shots, re-rolling all hits. 10, 3, 3. Ugh, it's pretty rough, isn't it? I played in the GT and my opponent had 3 of those. It came down to the very last roll of the game. CTF, thanks so much for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Corn reroll hits in 18. Yeah. I played against, I think it was 3 Forge Fiends. And the end of the game, it literally came down to if I could pass my saves on the Vindicator tank. I think the Vindicator tank had 6 wounds left, and I had to roll 2 saves, and I had no CP left. If the Vindicator dies, he wins the game. If the Vindicator lives, I win the game. And I got lucky. But yeah, 3 Forge Fiends is rough. They're not easy to take down either. 12 wounds, 3 up save, 5 up invuln. Toughness 10. Yeah, I mean, they're a good example of a melee army that can get a lot of benefit from shooting, right? Like, if you're a Khorne player, you just rush all your stuff forward and you just follow up with 3 Forge Fiends. Yeah, I was really impressed with the Forge Fiends. I thought they're really nasty, really hard to deal with. The only weakness they've got is they've got no fallback and shoot, and because they're blast, they can't shoot into combat. So if you can get something into combat with them, you can tie them up, but it's easier said than done. Alright, we're looking at the Angels Fang captain again. Another captain. A chaplain with a jump pack. Another chaplain with a jump pack. We've got the Sanguinary Tear here, which is the aura to give Death Company +1 strength. That's super expensive, 35 points for that. And then we've got Carmine Reliquary, which is 6-inch move for the chaplain and reroll battle shock tests. My opponent usually plays 2 Forge Fiends and it rips elite infantry apart. Yeah, they're really nasty into Sanguinary Guard just because every failed save is a dead model. And with strength 10, they typically wound you on 2s, right? I really hate how in this meta there's a lot of weapons that just wound Marines on 2s. It's just like, oh, when they wound Marines on 2s, you can never luck out. You know, you can never be like lucky and they fail a bunch of wounds. No, it just doesn't happen. Alright, we've got Intercessors for Sticky. Did I mention Lamartas is here as well? We've got 15 Jump Pack Marines, no, 20 Death Company Jump Pack Marines. So it's definitely a theme in this detachment to take a lot of Death Company. Take the 10 with Lamartas, take the 5s with Chaplains. I think it's very strong. I think you could probably take 10 without Lamartas as well. Like if you wanted to attach a Chaplain to a 10, I still think that's good as well. I think Death Company are great. I think when you play limb from limb on them, they become amazing. And I guess without limb for limb, they're probably similar to where they were with Liberator Assault Group. So they're still not bad. But if you can play limb for limb on them, then they're utterly amazing. Infiltrators for for securing your home field. 2 units of Outriders. I like the Outrider picks. I think they're good. 2 Predator Destructors. This might be a targeted pick for someone that's playing against a lot of Victrix Guard. I like the Predator Destructors. I actually, like, when I won the GT last year. Oh, Jesus, is it 2 years ago now? Yeah, I think it might be 2. When the fuck was the GT that I won? It might have been 18 months ago. Yeah, I don't think I won anything in 2025. Oh, I let myself down. To be fair, I only went to 3 tournaments in 2025. My kids have been a bit of a nightmare. We're an awkward age with my 4-year-old where he just tantrums about everything. But yeah, no, I like Predator Destructors. I think they get a decent amount of shooting at 48. They get a good amount of shooting at 24. They're kind of cheap. They have Hunter-Killer missiles. I think they're cheap. They're nice and cheap fire support, right? If you're trying to only spend 280 points on fire support, I think your only option, because 2 Ballistus Dreadnoughts now is 300 points. Unpopular opinion, I'm debating 6 Plasma Inceptors in RCO. I think Plasma Inceptors just got a hell of a lot better because of the Victrix Guard nerf, dude. Because every failed save against a Plasma Inceptor is going to be a dead Victrix Guard now. And Victrix Guard are still very pointy, right? Like 3 of them are 110 points. Plasma Inceptors get 2 shots, so they could be killing... Realistically, you're probably killing 1 Victrix Guard with every Plasma Inceptor. If you drop down a squad of 6, you could realistically kill 6 Victrix Guard. That could be pretty valuable. There's no invuln on the Victrix Guard. Yeah, you'd have to position them pretty well so that they don't get cover. But something that I did that I'd never thought of, that I've barely used this edition, is if you've got Plasma Inceptors, if you're playing Angelic Inheritors, right, you're obviously going to pick up and put units down, right? That's the thing you do in Angelic Inheritors. I guess you don't have that in Rage Cursed. But the thing about it is if you're dropping Plasma Inceptors, you can drop them somewhere to get Plunging Fire. And I did that on the GW terrain a few weeks ago. So I dropped my Plasma Inceptors on the Ruin. I think it was in my opponent's DZ, so I'm 6 inches off the ground. So when I shoot at him, it's AP4 now. And I also realized that if you drop in up high for Plunging Fire, you don't have to overcharge to get AP3 on the 2 damage as well, which is pretty cool because sometimes you want the AP3. But you don't need 3 damage, so you don't want to risk the overcharge. So if you can ever get Plunging Fire with the Plasma Inceptors, the extra point of AP can be pretty darn handy, right? Like AP4 into Victrix Guard would be pretty good, right? Saving on 6s. So if they ever position them where you can get Plunging Fire on them, I give them both a moment, reroll hits, twin linked, reroll wounds, AP4 from Plunging. 2 units of Angry Guard, 2 units of Scouts. I would probably change your loadouts on the Scouts. You probably just didn't set those up. The Scouts loadouts, you probably want combat knives on the Scouts because bolt guns and bolt pistols do fuck all. You probably want a chain sword on the Sergeant as well. Sangry Guard with blades here. I'd probably be willing to give the Sangry Guard at least 1 unit spears just to get the lance on 1 unit. As I said, I like the Destructors, I like the Double Outriders, I like the Infiltrators. 20 jump Death Company is good. My question, I suppose, here is you have Infiltrators and Intercessors. Do you need both? Because then you have double Scouts as well. Like, you might have gone 1 step too far on the scoring unit in this list. Like, you could probably... I don't know if you need 4 scoring units or like 4 somewhat dedicated... Like, Scouts are dedicated scoring units. Infiltrators are like... They're going to end up being a scoring unit because you're going to end up doing an... their end up was going to sit on your home field objective, and occasionally they're going to... Occasionally they might forward deploy for a deep strike bubble, and they'll do actions. But then you've got Intercessors as well for sticky and scoring. I think I would get rid of at least one of those scoring unit options in this and add something else with a little bit of punch. The Chaplain with a 6-inch scout move. Who's he attaching to? Alright, he's with a Death Company. Alright, so you can have 1 Death Company, get a 6-inch scout move. Sorry, I thought this list had a Chaplain on foot. No. Yeah, I feel like there's one too many scoring. I'm not running any Scouts in this detachment. I just do some actions on, like, Assault Intercessors with jump packs. And then I'm not running Infiltrators to defend my home field. I just have the Intercessors. I mean, maybe the simplest change here actually could be like we just get rid of the Infiltrators and add like a unit of jump pack Intercessors. Like, if you really want something to sit on your home field, sit one of these squads of Scouts. I'm not even convinced you need 2 squads of Scouts, but yeah, you could sit one of the squads of Scouts. Or yeah, I mean, in a list that's got so much speed, and that like you've got 20 Jump Marines, plus 2 units of Sangry Guard, plus 2 units of Outriders, plus a couple of Predators that kind of want to sit back anyway. Like, your Predators are going to be sitting back anyway. You can sticky the home field. You can probably position the Predators to screen a bit. They've got really long range. Yeah, I feel like that would be my change. I would get rid of I get rid of one of the scoring units and try and replace it with a unit that can do damage. And if I have to give up like one of these enhancements to get another damaging unit, I'd probably be willing to do that. Like, I'd probably be willing to give up the Infiltrators plus the Sanguinary Tear for another 3-man unit of Sanguinary Guard, or a unit of Jump Intercessors. But then you have an awkward amount of points left if you do that. You have like 45 points left. I don't know what you could do with 45 points. Not much. Yeah. It's really awkward that the cheapest character these days is like 45, 50 points, isn't it? Okay. But yeah, no, I think the Predator Destructors, they were out of the meta for a while. If everybody's running craploads of Victrix Guards, then I think they're much more interesting, because they're actually a unit that would deal with Victrix Guard probably point for point. If you've got 2 Destructors and you shoot them both at the Victrix Guard, what does that make them have to take? You know, like potentially 12 AP2 autocannons, and every failed one is a dead model. And then it could be 4 las cannons. Victrix Guard don't really like las cannons. There'll be AP4 in this detachment. They'll be AP4 because you're shooting infantry. So you've got like 12 shots at AP2 flat 3, and then 4 shots at AP4 or D6 plus 1. You got the bolters are AP1 into infantry as well. You could shoot the Hunter Killer missile. Like, if you just want rid of Victrix Guard, then you know, that's the thing. The Destructors are probably pretty good at that. I feel like the Inceptors would be good into the new Wardens unit. The Wardens unit's kind of cheap, right? Like, I was looking at it and I'm thinking, like, it seems like a lot of ablative wounds for 90 points. Alright. PKROJO is our next list tonight. He says, this detachment plays very different to lag. With my best friend, we need to get to the conclusion that you must be doing your all-ins in turn 2 or 3, no later. You want to drown your opponent by all the charges. You need to force them to take decisions like interrupt or something and just pop your 5 up, feel no pain, or fight on death. Is this maybe the Red Eyes detachment? I mean, it's supposed to be a Death Company detachment, right? So it kind of makes sense. I don't know if I feel like it's an all-in detachment. It plays different to lag, sure. And the difference is any unit on the board can be amazing with 1 extra strength and 1 extra AP. That's the difference to lag. Like, 1 unit per turn just hits phenomenally hard, and you need to be positioned to get the best out of that unit, right? And you need to make the most out of that, because the difference with lag is you've got no fallback in charge. So if you jump into units that you don't kill, then you have big problems. And I had big problems this week against Necrons, right? Where, like, I'm charging Necron units and I'm not fully killing them, and then big problems start to rise, because it's like, oh shit, I'm stuck in combat in like 3 different places, and I don't want to be stuck in combat because I can't get any of my charge bonuses. It's super cheap at 90 for like 20 wounds. Yeah, I thought the Wardens seemed super cheap. I'm going to be doing a video on the Wardens on the new Titus model at some point in the next week. I already made some slides on it, so that's coming up. We need more videos for incursion size lists. Yeah, I mean, I'll make more incursion size videos. My focus at the moment has been on this GT, which is next weekend. After I clear this GT, because people keep asking me about this Death Company Dreadnought. People keep like, Jordan, can you play the Death Company Dreadnought? I don't think the Death Company Dreadnought is good, but I'm willing to play it next week, or not this week, because it's my final practice for the GT, the week after. So, like, what date would that be? I'll start testing the Death Company Dreadnought on like the 21st of this month. I'll put him in some lists, I'll play him on the channel, I'll see how he feels. But yeah, I'm not convinced about the Death Company Dreadnought at all. So I guess that's where I'm at. Right. Alright, we're looking at another Rage Curse list. We've got a unit of Assault Intercessors. We have a Fight First Captain with a jump pack. We have a Chaplain with a jump pack with the +1 Strength for Death Company aura. We have Mephiston. We have Dante. We have a Death Company Captain. That's a Death Company Captain on foot. We have 10 Death Company with jump packs. We have another 10 Death Company jump packs and 2 5s. We have a single Lancer. We have Sticky Objective Intercessors. We have Lamartas. We have 3 units of 3 Sangre Guard. We have a unit of Scouts. We have a Thunderstrike. And that's kind of it. So hold on. We've got a Thunderstrike to give +1 to wound when shooting. And then our shooting is a single Lancer? I mean, at that point, I think I'd probably just take the double Lancer, honestly. Like, I mean, I guess it gives +1 to wound for some of the pistols. You should definitely add Infernal Pistols to your Sangre Guard squads. I mean, it's the bolt guns are absolutely tragic. They don't do anything. Strength 4, EP 0. You know, you should add Infernal Pistols because you can. You know, it's only 1, but it can be meaningful occasionally. Your Death Company loadouts need to be changed as well, right? Because I assume that these Death Company have more special weapons than just the chainswords, right? You should add the Power Fists, you should add the Eviscerators. I'm trying to think how all these attachments would work. So Dante's probably with Sangre Guard. There's a Captain with the Sangre Guard. There's a Chaplain with probably 5 Death Company. There's Lamartas with probably 5 Death Company. The Death Company Captain on foot on his own. I actually have no idea what this guy can even attach to. I assume he can just attach Death Company Marines. Yeah, so he can't attach to anything in this list. Is that right? So that seems like a strange choice. A Death Company Captain on his own. His ability is that, like, he can do some mortal wounds when he dies. Again, you haven't given him any special weapon. I assume you would give him something better than the chainsword. Yeah. This list has me a little confused, right? Like, 3 units of 3 Sangre Guard. Well, I think the big units get more value in this detachment. Like, I don't know if I'd use limb for limb on 3 Sangre Guard. I'd use it on 6, but I probably wouldn't use it on 3. Did McFatson start a new account? I don't think he did. I don't think this is his list. There's not enough flamers in it. Hello, Speargrass. Just painted my first Primaris Death Company Dreadnought. Nice. I'm like halfway through painting mine, man. If it's good, then I guess I'll finish painting mine up. It's a bit of a distraction, Carnifex. I don't know if I feel like one character on foot is a like, he's got 4 wounds. He's toughness 4. Alright, I lied. Sorry, he's got 5 wounds. Oh, the Death Company Captain gets 1 extra wound, does he? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just argue that, like, 20 Death Company Marines with a unit of Intercessors in the backfield, with 3 units of Sangre Guard, with a Lancer and a Storm Speeder. Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably okay. It just feels like there could be some better synergies in here. I would like to see 6 Sangre Guard, because I feel like 6 gives you that really... 6 with spears gives you that really deadly unit that you can limb for limb. Obviously, you can limb for limb all the Death Company every turn, so you could argue, well, we're just going to limb for limb the Death Company. We don't need big units of Sangre Guard. Yeah, I suppose you could argue that. Assault Intercessors with jump packs are useful. Obviously, all the characters you've picked are useful. Scouts are useful. +1 to wound from the Thunderstrike can be useful, and a Lancer again, some nice anti-tank. Yeah, I mean, sticky objectives. Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit different to what we might see. Maybe the format of the list is a little bit different as well. I'm not sure I get excited about a single Death Company Captain on foot. Personally, I think probably in my head, the days of, because we used to call Warhammer Hero Hammer, right? You used to be running around the board with one character that was buffed out of the Yazoo, and he killed anything. I always remember the Smash Captain you could build. I think he goes to 129 points. and you could get like 15 attacks with a damage 4 Thunderhammer at AP3, and you could re-roll all ones to hit or something. Like, it was absolutely bonkers. But like, I think those days are behind us, unless of course you're Eldar and you have some character that's got like 1 billion attacks. So yeah, I'm not convinced on the Death Company Captain on foot, and it just seems a bit different to what we've been seeing, I guess. I don't dislike the Storm Speeder. I just don't know if I feel like you get enough value of the Storm Speeder if you only have one other vehicle or one other dedicated shooting unit, right? Like, because I played the Storm Speeder, but I feel like I played it when I was playing like Gladius Task Force. I had like Eradicators that would love +1 to wound because they had all reroll wounds, and I had like can't remember what tanks. I think I had a Repulsor. I think I had 2 Vindicator tanks, had Eradicators. I might have even had heavy intercessors in that list. And then when you start putting all that stuff in, you give it all +1 to wound and shooting, then it's really good. Or maybe they didn't know the Storm Speeder's +1 to wound against monsters and vehicles is the shooting phase only. Maybe that was a misread. Yeah. Important to call that out though. Thank you, Roland. I think we're looking at your list next, Roland. So let's hope that you've got things right. No, I'm joking. It's fine. It's a chill stream. It's Sunday night. I don't have much going on. All right, Roland Thomas, 8325. That's the year of his birth, by the way. So he's 32,000 years old, and it makes him the oldest Space Marine commander in the Imperium. 32,000, yeah, that's right, to get to 40k, isn't it? Hey John, on RCO list I'm going to be trying out and putting through the gauntlet. I've noticed a lot of first tournament winning lists around 12 or 13 units, and are trash light. Trash light? You mean like, not that many small units, or not that many trashy units? What do you mean by that? The list feels, it fits the vibe, it's totally viable for players who are limited on models. For example, no Ball Predators. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Ball Predators are... I don't think you have to have Ball Predators for Rage Cursed. Do you know what? It's a funny thing. I'm taking a Ball Predator to this tournament this weekend. And I've played it in 3 games now, and I'm still not 100% sure I'm getting a lot of value out of the Ball Predator. But it's in my tournament list. It's there. We're going to see how it does. I'll know by the end of it if I just don't like Ball Predators, or I'll win the tournament and I'll love Ball Predator. How dare I? Yeah, I mean, I think I just put the Ball Predator in there because everybody wanted me to play it. I feel like I get more value out of regular Predator. Every time I move my Ball Predator forward to try and do something, it just fucking dies, man. It just dies horribly. Like this week it's like, oh, take fucking... God, I'm swearing too much, excuse me. Take 5 saves at AP4 from a flat 4 damage Gauss cannon, because we're Necrons and we get flat 4 damage at AP4 at strength 18. Cool, alright, well that's my Ball Predator dead. I didn't even get to roll a single save. Any unit can be good if you know how to use it. Yeah, true. Well, maybe by the end of the tournament I'll know how to use the Ball Predator. Because at the moment it just doesn't seem like it's performing for me. But I've submitted my tournament list. It's in the list. Because they fear the Ball Predator. That's why they focus on it. Okay. Well, maybe its use is to pull the firepower onto it and then other things survive. Yeah, maybe. Alright, we've got Chaplain in Terminator Armor with Fight First. We have a Chaplain in Terminator Armor with nothing. We have a Chaplain with the 6-inch Scout Move. And then we have another Chaplain. And then we have a Lieutenant with Combi Weapon. Alright, so we've got 4 Chaplains. All the Chaplains are here in this one list. We've got the Intercessors. We have 10 Death Company with jump packs. We have a squad of Incursors to give +1 to hit in shooting. We have 3 squads of 3 Sanguinary Guard. We have a unit of Scouts. We have 2 squads of 5 Assault Terminators, all Storming board. I'd probably be willing to lose like 2 of the Thunderhammers and Shields for some Lightning Claws. And the reason that, or at least one guy with Lightning Claws, and the reason that I like to put somebody in those squads, because I've run them to tournaments before. When I was running at tournaments before, I did 3 Thunderhammers and 2 Lightning Claws. And the reason that I liked that before was sometimes you play shit like Orcs, right? Where every model's got 1 wound. And Thunderhammers are super inefficient. But if you've got Lightning Claws with, like, Terminators get a lot of attacks now, right? So, and I think Lightning Claws are strength 5. So they're perfect for dealing with orcs. Where are they? Terminators, Assault Terminators. Of course they're going to be at the top, aren't they? Assault. Where the fuck are Assault Terminators? Oh, Terminator Assault Squad. Sorry. My mistake. Yeah, so, yeah, Lightning Claws are strength. So if you're playing against orcs, they're... If you're making a charge, you're getting 7 or 8 attacks per model. You're twin-linked. So against, like, orcs that basically just have a fight... You don't need good AP against orcs typically. Whereas Thunderhammers, if you fight into, like, knobs and stuff, they're going to be super inefficient. So I would like, probably... If it was me, I'm probably going to be putting a couple of Lightning Claw guys into each squad. At least one. I feel like that gives my squad at least a little bit of... versatility. Or maybe you could just do that for 1 squad, and that's the squad you deep strike on the side with all the enemies chaff, because, you know, it's something to consider anyway. And then 2 Vindicator tanks. We love the Vindicator tanks. We are going to struggle as Space Marines when we lose them. I was actually looking at the tournament I'm going to, because I'm going to a tournament on Saturday. And there's an Ultramarines player. Of course, there's Ultramarines, right? They're, you know, they're dirty Ultramarines because I was going to say because they're a bad player. They're playing Ultramarines. No, that's not true. The guy that's playing Ultramarines is a very good player. I've played him before. But I think he's got 3 Vindicator tanks. God, Ultramarines with 3 Vindicator tanks. It's like horrific, isn't it? Let me double check. Oh no, he's only got 2 Vindicator tanks now. 2 Vindicator tanks, the Wardens, Victrix Guard, Stern Guard, Repulsor, Eradicators, Intercessors. Assault Intercessors? No, I don't know who they'll be with. Maybe they're with Marius Calgar. That's interesting. Since you will be a GT on Saturday, so there'll be no show on your channel. There'll probably be no shows next weekend, or if next weekend... Sometimes if I've done well on day 1 and I've got energy, I'll come on and just talk about day 2. We'll see. Next weekend is up in the air because I am at a GT and it's at least an hour's drive to get there both ways. Depends on 3 games on Saturday. Yeah, so if I'm live next week, it's a bonus. I don't know if I'm going to be here next weekend. Yeah, so 2 Vindicator tanks, they're great. Assault Terminators, I haven't played them since they got buffed, but they look like they should be much more better, much more competitive. In this detachment, they actually look like they could be pretty gnarly, just because you can get, like, so many attacks. Especially if you're attaching Terminator characters to them as well, because that's just going to give them so much durability. Feel no pains, +1 to wound all the time, fight first. And then we've got 2 squads of Death Company, both led by chaplains as well. We've got Incursors for the center board. We've got 3 units of Sanguinary Guard. I see what you mean, right? So this is an interesting list, actually, right? Because he doesn't have any jump intercessors. What he's got instead is like 2 big blocks of Terminators, 2 medium-sized blocks of Death Company. That's the damage. And then 3 units of Sanguinary Guard in squads of 3s. Looks like they're all unled, and they are going to be basically the jump pack intercessors in this list. So they're going to go around and tangle and try and kill stuff. And I guess you're going to get 15 attacks from them. They've all got spears. So they're all +1 to wound. They all hit on 2s now. So it's 15 attacks, hitting on 2s, +1 to wound, reroll 1s to wound. You could limb for limb them as well if you need to. You've got the unit of scouts. So this is pretty interesting, actually. This is different and somewhat interesting. You still have sticky objectives. You still have a combi weapon lieutenant for scoring. You still have unit of scouts. You don't have ball predators, but you still have 2 Vindicator tanks. I like this list. I could see this as a sort of list I would play. I think it's a really interesting concept, actually, that nobody's done, which is like you've just decided that, like, jump intercessors have their limits, right? They are just chain swords. And in a way, they don't by default have the +2 strength in this detachment. So there is a potential argument to be said that jump intercessors are just not as good as this in this detachment as Liberator Assault Group. Like that's a very real potential. You're not going to want to be burning limb for limb on the jump intercessors. So yeah, I mean that makes a ton of sense. So rather than do that, you take the 2 squads of Terminators. You have both squads of Terminators +1 to wound characters that. If you're in any doubt, the Chaplain in Terminator Armor also gives Terminators a 4-up feel no pain against mortals. That's just one of his things. So you have both units of Terminators have 4 wounds per model, feel no pain against mortals, +1 to wound. One of them's fighting first. You got the Chaplain with a 6-inch scout move, so you've got a Death Company unit that's far up the board, and then you've got 3 units of Sanguinary Guard that could do actions, that could tangle. I like this list. I think it's good. I think it's different. I don't think it matters it's got no Ball Predator. I think you might. I think the one tricky thing in this list is you're probably going to have to put something. You're probably going to have to sit something on like your natural expansion that's going to potentially be shot. What that is a question. Is it unit of Terminators? Probably not. So is it unit of Sanguinary Guard? Maybe. Or do you try and make it your incursors and try and shoot and then I mean, incursors are useful as well with the mine for when they get charged. I think this is a good list. I don't know what else I would change. I would like to actually try this list. Because like I said, I haven't even sold yet on the... It's a pity you didn't give me this list a month ago and then might have tried it before the GT because like I said, I don't even know if I really know how to play a Ball Predator correctly. But I suppose I'll know how to play it after 5 games at the tournament. I literally probably only played it like 5 times this whole edition. There's not going to be limb for limb on jump intercessors when you have Death Company, the jump packs, and Sanguinary Guard. Yeah, so it makes a good point. I only have 1 unit of jump intercessors in my Rage Curse list, and honestly, they're there kind of perform actions. They're not supposed to do too much combat. But no, I like it. I think this is a good one. I think if anyone doesn't like jump intercessors, this is a good list. And if anyone doesn't have Ball Predators, this is a good list as well. And Terminators have just come out, right? Like, I actually want to buy the new Terminator box because sometimes stuff's really fucking expensive from Games Workshop. But I was looking on Element Games, and the new Terminators, the Assault Squad, they actually seem really cheap. I don't really know why, or maybe I'm messed up with my prices, or I'm numb to pricing now. But you get the 5 new Terminators for 36. I feel like that seems okay, and I think the new ones look like the casting, how big they are. I think they're going to be super cool. So don't forget the Ball's main weapons are all assault. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. And I mean, it did flame a bunch of stuff this week when I played it against Necrons. It's not like it did nothing. I think it actually flamed away 2 squads of Necrons in 1 turn. And I think I had no prisoners that turn. So it's not like the Ball Predator did nothing for me. I just think Ball Predators die very quickly because they're like T11. If they had an invuln save, I think they'd be amazing. But yeah, with Terminators coming back, I haven't played Terminator. I haven't played the new Terminators yet since they got new rules, but I'd like to, and I think this detachment probably makes them much stronger. The chaplain makes them really strong. So I think it's a good list. All right, we're going to move on to tonight's last army list. This one was submitted by Quaydog. It is a 2,000 point RCO list. It seems like I said at the start of the stream, in 2025, we spent a lot of time looking at community submissions for Liberator Assault Group. It looks now like we're going to get a lot of submissions for Rage Cursed. I think everybody's probably... It's been a weird edition, right? Because like for the first 6 months of the edition, you kind of had to play Gladius Task Force. That was your only option. And then for like the next year of the edition, it was like you had to play Liberators or Sons of Sanguinius that became Liberator Assault Group. That was your only option. Then Grotmus came out, and about half the players moved to Angelic Inheritors. The other half were already bored of those 3 detachments, and now we've got a new detachment. I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I like the fact that it's like you play this one detachment and you don't do anything else for 6 months. But I think that's what's happened this time around. Hopefully a new edition is a little bit different. Alright, we've got the Blood Angels Captain with the Sustained Enhancement with Assault Intercessors in an Impulsor. I think that's fine. I think that I would say the Stern Guard are somewhat better. But the Assault Intercessors in the Impulsor, I guess, is fine. We've got a Jump Pack Chaplain with 5 Death Company and another one. And another one. Josh Short, thanks so much for subscribing. So it's 15 Jump Pack Death Company. Each with a Chaplain. Do we then have a 6 Angry Guard with a Spears with a Captain? We then have 3 units of Jump Pack Intercessors. I would have said before I looked at this last list, this is fine. But after looking at this last list, I'm actually wondering if there's a better way of doing this and moving away from Jump Pack Intercessors in this detachment. We have a Teach Marine. Tech Marine. We have an Impulsor with a Shield Dome for the Captain and the Assault Intercessors. We have the Single Ball Predator. We have the Double Vindicator tank. So this is very similar, I suppose, in ways to what I have, in that, like, 2 units of Death Company with Chaplains, a big unit of Sanguinary Guard with a Captain, the Ball Predator, the Vindicator, the Impulsor. I've got 2 units of Jump Intercessors in my list, and then I also have a Captain in an Impulsor, albeit with a different unit, but yeah, this is very similar to what I've been playing. I only listed the weapons that weren't already equipped by default, or including okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, I typically only list weapons that aren't included by default. Yeah, they could just make 2 or 3 solid competitive detachments on day 1, Boris. I think that's what everybody... I think that would be the dream, right? Because then that would give you variety throughout the edition, and if you're struggling with any one detachment, you could move on to a new one. Rather than having to play one detachment for 6 months, 9 months, a year, and getting bored of it. Because I remember at the start of the edition, do you remember at the very start of the edition, Blood Angels only got +1 strength? +1 strength and +1 attack, and we were really struggling. We were in a really bad place. And basically no one was playing the Blood Angels detachment, and it was kind of horrific for like 6 months. We were just sort of forced to play this other detachment, and I kind of really hated it. I actually went to a tournament with Blood Angels, and I took, I think it was 23 or 21 Gravis Marines, and like I beat a few people, I think just because they're like, what the hell, this is Blood Angels and Gravis, I never see this. And I was like, I never play this. But the detachment we've got right now sucks. So this is a fine list, I feel like. It's got the like 13 different unique units. It doesn't have a lone op. It doesn't have sticky objectives. So you're going to have to leave something in the backfield and hold your home field objective. I guess that's the Tech Marine. Or a unit of Jump Pack Intercessors. We don't have a lone operative that we can do shenanigans with in the middle or put on the side field objective. I think that makes things a little bit tricky. I guess we've got the Ball Predator. We do have 3 Death Company units. We do have an Impulsor. I guess the Impulsor could park up on the side field objective, and then the unit that comes out could threaten. I think it's okay, this one. But do you know what? I think after looking at that last one, I think I'm really on board with the idea behind, like, really focus more on the Death Company as the damage dealing unit, and focus on the Sanguinary Guard as like the skirmishing unit. And that's what Jump Intercessors are trying to be. They're trying to be a skirmishing unit. So you just replace your skirmishing Jump Intercessors with small units of Sanguinary Guard with spears. And then fill out the list with stuff like this, like the Captain inside the Impulsor, the Ball Predators, the Impulsor, the Vindicator tanks, the Death Company Dreadnoughts. Yeah, you could probably even try Death Company Dreadnoughts in this. So I think there's a lot of experimentation. Yeah, Jump Intercessors. Sanguinary Guard have more OC than a squad of Jump Intercessors as well. Yeah, and they have OC if they're battle shocked as well, which can be meaningful, right? Yeah, I think there's still a lot of experimentation in Rage Cursed to do. I'll be experimenting more in 2 weeks' time once I've taken this Rage Cursed list to a GT. But I feel like this Rage Cursed list, like, I guess when I'm being serious and when I'm going to GT, my lists sort of fall into like a standard pattern, right? Like, this is how I like to play the game. This is how I like to take stuff to GT. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. You'll see that again on Wednesday. You're going to see the same list as last week on Wednesday night. I think this is the third time in a row I've played it now. And then, yeah, I think that's. I think after that, it'll be time to experiment and see where things go. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry about the delay at the start of tonight's stream. There was some problems. There'll be a tactics video on Friday. There should be a battle report on Wednesday. And if I get time, the video about the 500 World's tightest detachment will come out as well this week. Weird question. Does anyone know what detachment would narratively fit the Lamenters? And would they field Sanguinary Guard? Oh, good question. I mean, I would... I feel like I would play one of the three... We have 3 competitive detachments. So they are Liberator Assault Group, they are Angelic Inheritors, and they are Rage Cursed Onslaught. I would pick one of those 3. Because if you don't pick one of those 3, you're probably just making the game harder for yourself and giving yourself a disadvantage right off the get-go. And I can understand that if you're trying to be fluffy, but I also don't think the game's fun if you're just rocking up with a list where, like, I'm probably going to lose because my list kind of sucks, right? Or my detachment kind of sucks. Thanks for the good luck, Real Skilling. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm gonna bounce. Like I said, there'll be content out multiple times this week, but next weekend, maybe like 50-50 if you'll see me next weekend. I'll post on Twitter or on the Facebook page about some of the games. If you want to follow me on Twitter, not that I don't think I'm very exciting on Twitter, but I do occasionally post pictures of my GT. Like, I'll post some screenshots of the games, so you can follow me over there if you want to. But I might be here. Like, what'll happen is I'll either come home and I'll be super exhausted and I won't come on, or I'll have gone 3-0 on day 1 and I'll be super pumped. I haven't gone 3-0 on day 1, I guess, for like 18 months. It's fucking hard to do 3-0 on day 1, man. I think the third game on day 1, you always at some point end up with like playing like a pretty good player. Like, you've won 2, they've won 2. You're going to play a pretty decent player at that point. So yeah, if I get 3-0 on day 1, then I'll come on here because I'll be wanting to look at my 4th opponent and work out what his list does. But might also be pretty late that I get back up the road, so we'll see. And then it depends on if the kids are actually asleep or not. So yeah, next weekend we'll see. Thank you. Yeah, it'll be good to get back into the swing of things. I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been to a tournament for like 6 months because I came home from the last GT Thanks so much for Timma Phillips. I came for subscribing. I came home from my last GT, and like the first thing I did when I walked through the door and was like, said to my wife, was like, "Have the kids been okay?" And she's like, "They've been a fucking nightmare." And I was like, "Okay, I won't go to a tournament." Like probably just blurted out, "I won't go to a tournament again for 6 months." So that's where we are. Spoiler, 6 months down the line, my 4-year-old is still having the craziest tantrums ever. We went to KFC and it was closed, and I've never seen someone melt down so hard about KFC being closed in my life. I mean, you can laugh at it, but in the moment, being a parent of this child that's basically ready to throw themselves on the ground and want the world to swallow them up because KFC is closed, it can be tough, eh? Thanks, Speargrass. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I'll see you on Wednesday night for the battle report. Couple of other videos coming this week. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. If you want your list looked at by me in a future stream, pop it in the comments after the stream ends. Have a great evening. Don't feed the kids junk. It was for his birthday, man. We don't often feed them junk. We are actively trying to not feed them ultra processed food. I don't know if you watch all the news about ultra processed food, but there's like a big... So like they get KFC like once every 6 months, and it was still a tantrum. So people that give their kids that every week, Jesus, I don't know how they survive. I couldn't survive. I'd have jumped off a bridge. Anyway, have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you Wednesday night. Take care. It's even worse in the US. It's bad. It's so easy, man. Like, my kid comes through the kitchen, I say to them, right, we've got apples, we've got bananas, we've got strawberries, we've got grapes, we've got pears, we've got oranges. I just wanted gummies. And I was like, well, you're not getting, like, it's a Tuesday. Like, you only get sweets on the weekend. Like, come on, deal with it. The worries. Have kids, they said. It'll be fun, they said. And on that bombshell, see you guys later. Take care. Good night.